Welcome back to Selling Your Professional Services. My name is Larry Birckhead, and I'm here talking about conversation strategies for holding business development conversations with potential clients. So the client wants a solution that truly meets their needs because then they reach get the results they want to see. We want a solution that truly meets the client's needs because we get the satisfaction of having helped that, and we get paid handsomely. It meets their needs. So the fact is that there's a lot of things that get in the way, in spite of the fact we all seem to want that. And I wanted to go over 3 time-honored, tried-and-true methods that have been used to try and achieve the endpoint of a solution that truly meets the client's needs. First of all, a strategy that we find ourselves doing in spite of our best efforts is that we can often find ourselves telling a client what the solution is that we think they need. We think they might know what their problems are, and therefore we think we might know what their solution is. But there's a problem with that. The problem is often clients don't like to be told what their problems are, and they don't like to be told what the solution is by some consultant coming in who thinks they know everything. So oftentimes what happens is the clients resent being told. So from that reason alone, we might want to hold back a little bit on telling them our brilliance. But there's another reason. Oddly enough and shockingly enough, we might be wrong. We may not know the solution. We may think we do, but we may not. We implement the solution, we told them what they needed, it wasn't the right solution, we get paid, everybody's angry and frustrated. So let's say that at least there's a statistical probability that telling a client what they need to do may not be the best strategy. Sometimes that's exactly why they pay us. They want our independent opinion, and that's fine to give. Awareness and choice. The second time-honored method that we often use is we accept what their solution is. They tell us what they need, they have money in their hands, and we take it and run with it. But we also can find that maybe they didn't know what they needed. As I talked about earlier, there's awareness and choice around needs and wants. It could be that they feel that they know what they need, or they feel they know what they want, but that may not be the case. So the fact is just to accept their proposal for a solution may not be the best either. And I know all of us have had that experience as well. The third time-honored method, and you might be surprised at what this is that we guess what the solution might be. Now you think, when have I last guessed? Well, here's when you last guessed. You last guessed what the solution might be when you received a request for proposal and you didn't define every term in the proposal. You didn't get the client to go through the proposal with you and give you operational definitions for all the results that they want or for the problems they're trying to solve. You didn't do due diligence on what measures they're looking at now that they'd like to see the solution change. So we do actually a lot of guessing because we aren't that precise in examining what the organization is now seeing and what they want to see instead. So we can tell, we can accept, and we can guess, but we can find often that those solutions may not be the best way to go about offering an engagement. Instead, what we might want to do is mutually explore, which is what this conversation is all about. It's all about having a good exploratory conversation with the client that helps them look at their organization, helps us look at their organization in an honest, transparent way, so that we can both discover what the solution is that truly meets their needs. Not the preordained solution that we have or they have, but perhaps a third or fourth alternative that will truly meet their needs. It's only available as a result of thorough exploration. So what is exploration? Well, exploration is asking a lot of questions. There's a guy named Neil Rackham that wrote a book called Spin Selling. And what he found was that 70% of good selling was asking questions, not telling. So the rule is that telling is not selling, asking questions is selling. And the closer we get to that 70% question asking rate, the more persuasive we're going to be. Something to keep in mind the next time you want to attack the client during your business development conversation. Selling is a whole lot more receptive mode than it is active mode. So clients ask us all the time for solutions. We want to propose solutions, they ask for solutions. Well, let's see where that takes us. It easily can take us into providing a solution. If a client says, I want management development training, we're apt to say, oh, that's something we do. We can give you management development training. When would you like to start? Well, it may not be that simple. That's accepting their solution. And if we're going to question that, then what we need to do is that your first idea of a solution, my first idea of a solution, their first thought of a solution, we might want to move off that solution and move to this place of exploring what really might be the real solution behind it all. So what might that model look like? That model might look like this. We start with the solution. Now, we said already that a solution only derives value from two things: from the results that it delivers or the problems that it solves. If it doesn't solve a problem or deliver a result, we've said it cannot be defined as a solution. But solutions and problems, results and problems, are only defined by two things. And that's evidence. There's two kinds of evidence. There's anecdotal evidence and there's numeric evidence. Now, there's been billions of dollars spent on solutions purely based upon anecdotal evidence, as I'm sure that probably fits with your experience as well. It certainly fits with mine. But companies that are looking at numbers are a whole lot safer to work with because they want us to move a number. Well, I feel a lot more confident looking at a number to move than I do looking at anecdotal information. So evidence of the existence of a problem, evidence of the achievement of a result, is only visible through number or anecdote, and I'd much rather be dealing with a number. Next step is we got to look at the impact that the resolution of the problem may have or the delivery of the result may have. That impact is measured, hopefully, in dollars. If it's not measured in dollars, it's measured in some anecdotal experience of the situation being improved. The problem with anecdotal evidence and anecdotal impact is that our invoice is not anecdotal. Our invoice has a dollar figure on it. So what we'd like to see is we'd like to see evidence in numbers and we'd like to see impact in dollars. Because if we get impact in dollars, then they can compare the impact in dollars against our invoice in dollars, and it can be determined clearly whether or not we made a difference. Now, if we cannot see the impact in dollars, then what we want to see is we want to have the client rate the impact in a scale of 1 to 10. If they don't think that the impact of our intervention is going to be an 8, 9, or a 10, I'll guarantee you that some competitive project that is an 8, 9, or a 10 will overtake ours. And the resources we need to achieve our solution will be found elsewhere and not in our project. So 8, 9, or a 10, or in dollars. We prefer dollars because our invoice is in dollars. And then finally, after we look at the impact, hopefully in dollars, on evidence hopefully based on a number, that we've achieved a result or solved the problem, then we want to look at what the implications are of having achieved that impact. Now, the implications can be divided into 3 categories. Do we think that the implications of what we're going to deliver are big? Because if they think that the implications of the impact of the solution we deliver are big, we got to ask why they didn't go after that solution earlier. Why did it take them this long to pursue the solution if the impact and implications are big? The reason that's important is because the same constraints that stopped them from getting that big solution in the past may stop us again from getting that solution in the future. So I like to explore with clients what the implications are, and if they're big, I ask them, why haven't you pursued it before now then if the implications are so big? The second thing I ask is if the implications are small, then is there really a justification for pursuing this solution? Because if it's small game, then why spend big money? And the third notion to consider on implications is whether or not it's really unknown. If the impact of the solution is really unknown and they aren't going to have any way of understanding what the impact has been and the implications are, then maybe what they'll do is they'll want to pursue understanding, and they want to do a study to find out whether or not it makes sense to actually implement this solution. So the 3 things of implications are: if it's big, why haven't you done it before? If it's small, what justifies the expenditure now? And finally, if we don't know, then maybe we should find out. So I'm going to close there and hope that you have found some information in this presentation that's really going to work for you and help you build a business development conversation that's going to make a difference for you. Thanks a lot for being on board.